It's the end of the line. As New Scientist went to press, mission controllers were awaiting the signal from NASA's New Horizons probe confirming it has survived its rapid journey past Pluto. If all went well, images and data from the last stop on our grand tour of the solar system will trickle in over the next year's sea view from the solar system's edge. It doesn't feel real yet, says Casey Dreier of the Planetary Society, a space exploration advocacy group in Pasadena, California. Emotionally, most of us grew up with the 9 planets, and this caps that off. But the mission also offers an opportunity to look back at how far we have come. We have been exploring worlds beyond our own since 1959, when both the US and Soviet Union sent probes to the moon, and we have sent robotic adventurers to every planet in the solar system, plus moons, comets and asteroids. These missions have inspired millions to wonder about our place in the cosmos and have indirectly taught us more about the planet we call home. The flyby of New Horizons is the last of the firsts. We will never set eyes on an uncharted world in our solar system again. So what's next? We are running out of unknown territory, but we can now go back to places we have visited briefly and explore them more fully, says Kurt Niebuhr, who oversees NASA's robotic missions. That means drawing inwards. There are currently no missions beyond Jupiter on the books of any space agency, and given the lead time in planning and travel, it could be more than 20 years before we see another long-range flight like that of New Horizons. But the Moon, Mars and Jupiter, where most future missions will be heading, still hold many secrets. They are also easier to reach, reducing mission risks and cost. And efforts such as NASA's planned 2020's jaunt to Europa offer our best, if slim, chance of finding life on other worlds. The scientific return from today's missions is vastly superior to what we learned during the first flybys, says Mark McCaw-Green, senior scientist for the European Space Agency's robotic missions. Repeat visits don't have to be dull, he adds. The Rosetta spacecraft was not the first mission to visit a comet, but it has been an incredible thrill ride. The rise of social media also means we have a much more direct link to our spacecraft than in the past. Still, much of what is coming will be an echo of what went before. NASA is even planning a 2020 sequel to its Curiosity Mars rover, and its 7 minutes of terror landing won't be so terrifying second time around. Where are the rovers on the roasting surface of Venus? The submarines diving beneath the hydrocarbon lakes of Titan? These exciting missions have been floated, but not seriously funded. Will new findings from familiar destinations satisfy a public that hungers for exploration, and ultimately funds these missions? You want to look for a balance of missions that are producing great science and also have the potential to engage public interest, says Dreier. You don't want to ignore that. And excitement does have a serious payoff, says McCaw-Green. If missions like Rosetta can bring kids into science and help build a more rational and numerate society, then they'll have been worth every single penny. NASA's next high-profile mission is the Juno probe, which will arrive at Jupiter next year. But it won't beam back a stream of stunning images. Juno's camera is mostly a public relations afterthought that will only operate for part of the mission. Space exploration is not just about pretty pictures, but they do feed the desire to set eyes on other worlds. And a new frontier has opened since a Pluto mission was first floated, exoplanets. The study of worlds outside our solar system has exploded since the 1990s, and there is some evidence that 2 planets orbit Alpha Centauri, just over 4 light-years away. But that trip would take even speedy New Horizons nearly 100,000 years. Launching a probe to analyze these worlds would be expensive, risky and require perhaps a century of development time and decades of travel, even with advanced technology that doesn't yet exist. But think of the payoff. One day, our descendants could be awaiting images from the first interstellar explorer, as we truly take our place among the stars.